You heard the man. 5 more years. And you even saw, did you see the guy in the white shirt behind Kyle Lowry? It's been floating around. You know who that is?
No.
Kawhi's uncle. Had 5 up, chanting 5 more years. That's his most trusted person in his life.
But you
his
see
confidant.
him running around during the parade too? He was excited. Man.
He was hyped.
He loves Toronto.
So let's get to it. This is In the Mix, episode 14. As always, my brother Adis Kucukovic alongside myself, Jay Boyal. We got an interesting show. We were downtown at the parade.
Yes,
that shit was absolutely wild. Don't buy all the hype that it was ruined. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I'm sure of your life as well.
Yeah.
Shit went off the fan, but I think it's unexpected stuff. Some stuff you couldn't control. Some stuff MLSC and the city of Toronto will learn from. And people
But what are they gonna learn? That's what I don't understand. People keep saying it was unorganized. How do you organize 2 million people?
The only fair criticism I can give them is what I was saying when we were walking down Queen Street. I said, yo, isn't the parade supposed to come down Queen Street before they go to Nathan Phillips Square? And the streets were packed. There's like 100,000 people in the middle of the street on Queen Street.
Yeah, but you can't stop that.
No, you can put barriers up, which like they had along the rest of the path. And what every city does.
When they had, but the thing is, if you go up, it's the only people in Toronto are gonna know what we're talking about at the moment. I think it's Front Street.
Yeah.
There was barriers there, but come like 1 p.m. there was freaking like a crowd of people in the freaking thing.
So, and when people are complaining that there's
no
available food and water. Well, here's the thing.
No, I saw people walking around with cases of water, selling them for $1.
See, here's the thing.
Very simple. They
were planning a 2.5 hour parade and then about an hour at Nathan Phillips Square. So 3.5 total. It turned into, because of the Queen Street catastrophe, it turned into a 5.5 hour parade. They had to change the route down Army Street, which worked out for us because we got a great view of the end of the parade. Didn't have to wait in no crazy crowd. We waited for a long time though. We got there around 11 something. Yeah. They didn't roll through there until 3:30. All right, but when it becomes a 5.5 hour parade, then Nathan Phillips Square, that's when you need the water and the food. They did not think that was gonna happen. So if a 2.5 hour parade, you don't really need a bunch of water. You know what I'm saying, B?
But you didn't see the people walking around with the cases?
No, I didn't.
I saw a few of them. They're just holding them up. You come by, you give the guy a loonie, and he gives you a freaking bottle of water.
I also had a decent amount of adult beverages in my system, so my attention to detail wasn't the best. But we were celebrating.
The only thing, I understand it's a celebration for Toronto, but like the people who are bringing their kids there, you can't complain about the smoke and the drinking. What did you expect? Yeah, well, literally, what did you when you
were
said
drinking on the buses?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're popping champagne, spraying it on people.
Look at every
people
parade
are smoking
that's
stogies, freaking blunts, whatever, everything. Yeah, you can't complain about that.
You can't say the territory.
You know what they were saying in the news? It was covered with people doing drugs, smoking, and drinking, and like all this bad stuff. I'm like, bro,
marijuana is legalized in our great country.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So
and the shooting that happened, man. It's an isolated situation that didn't affect the whole parade. For me, at least. We were all there. It didn't affect the parade.
All I want to say about that is, no matter whether there's 100 people or 2 million, unless you metal detect every single person, which is unrealistic, there's no way you can stop that. If some idiot has no heart, no sympathy, and is psychotic, and wants to go and do that,
nothing you can do about it.
I don't know what could have been done to prevent that.
Most normal people don't bring a gun to a parade. There's a few people that will.
Is there a gun problem in our city? Well, there's a gun problem in a lot of cities.
In the world, especially down south. There's a gun problem in the world, man.
Right? So, there's not much you could do there. Organization-wise, people have been saying, they had TFC parade. Relax.
That's way different, man.
Maybe 100,000 people. Maybe 100,000 people showed up to TFC.
100,000. You're giving them too much credit, man. 100,000. Come on.
And then you ended up at 2 million.
Yeah.
This is nowhere even close. The parade route was like 3 times longer as well.
Exactly.
So that's no comparison. Hey, if the Raptors or Leafs win in the next 5 years, it's going to be a much more organized and better parade. They did this on 3 days' notice. And should they have maybe started planning at the start of the finals? Sure. But that's all in hindsight.
You can't plan, though, at the start of the finals.
Yeah.
Like, you're just expecting, like, you don't know what to expect. We could have lost that series, too.
Yeah.
So why plan for something that might not happen?
I guess. And I just want to say, to the media and a bunch of people who keep talking about the few negative things that went on, stop it. Stop giving the publicity to the shooters, the few idiots, and to the organization. Stop blaming MLSC, Toronto Police, City of Toronto. They did the best job they could on such a short notice, all right? And you're giving those shooters exactly what they want. by giving them more time on TV, giving them more time in your articles. People are just bashing everything that happened. That's exactly what those shooters wanted. They want to cause panic, danger, catastrophe, and that is what a lot of people have allowed it to become when there's so many great things that happen.
Exactly.
Let's look at those pictures that went around. When Kawhi's interacting with fans, Kyle Lowry was walking around with the trophy. He was as far away from me as you are to me right now holding the trophy. I'm never going to get that experience again in my life. Exactly. It was a beautiful day full of amazing moments. Stop focusing on the couple bad things that happen. It's going to go better next time. And
yeah, I'm guarantee you if we win another championship, it won't be that many people showing up.
No, and that
was the first championship. People who didn't even watch the playoffs probably just showed up because they're like, oh, wow.
It's going to be nuts. Exactly. How many people left their offices? Our buddy Bhavin. Yeah. Right? We went with him and we're like...
We went to his job and then we're just going
to go to his office and take a leak. He had a staff meeting. He's like, I got to go to the meeting and then I'll meet up with you guys somewhere. Let me know where you are. Exactly. Canceled the meeting. The whole building emptied. Yeah. Everybody left work. Everybody who was working the downtown core was at the parade. So, at the end of the day, it was a great time. I loved it. And I hope we get to do it again in the soon time, whether it's the Leafs or Raptors or the Blue Jays. But probably better luck to be the Raptors again, the way the Leafs are going.
The way that, I don't know, Jays, you got Vladdy, but...
Yeah, but they're going full rebuild. And you know what?
More years till they
let me just get to a little bit on the Jays, if you don't mind.
Let's hear it.
Marcus Stroman is having a career year. His ERA is just a tad over 3. His win-loss record obviously isn't that good. It's something like 3-8. He's pitching for the worst team in the MLB, on pace for their worst win-loss record in team history, and for their first 100-loss season. And everybody in management and some fans want him traded at the deadline just to keep the rebuild going. That's all great. We have some young batters, position players. But last time I checked, pitching is what wins championships. Every team that's won the last 3 years, 5 years, has had outstanding starting pitching, outstanding bullpen. He's only 28. It's not like this guy's 35. You got Vladdy up here already. You already got Kevin Biggio. You got Bo Bichette coming. You got a couple other guys. They just drafted some pitchers as well. Stroman can be that veteran that kind of helps this team go the right way. And he had the experience. He was there in 2015, 2016, pitching in those big playoff games, pitching well. Why would management not want to extend this guy? He's a heart and soul guy, loves the city of Toronto. In the offseason, got this Toronto skyline, did you know this, tatted on his torso. The whole Toronto skyline and the CN Tower.
That's kind of dumb.
This guy will die for this city. And he said it the other day. He's come to realize the business side and that, you know, the control for him in the future being a Blue Jay is not in his control. It's up to management, and he's realized that he might get traded by the March deadline. And that would be a shame if we lose the one Blue Jays player on this roster right now, and really since Jose Bautista in the last 10 years that has bled for this city as much as he's willing to do. It's kind of like DeMar DeRozan, but even more. How much this guy cares for the city and does for the city.
That's where a guy like him has to learn from situations like that.
Well, he said he's learning the business side now,
I'll die
right?
for the city. The city won't die for you, man.
No, if you ask all the fans, 98% of fans want to see him stay here.
I know. I'm sure. I'm talking about the actual team.
Yeah.
And people all behind it. They won't die for you, man. Why fucking...
Management won't.
Exactly.
No. And it's a shame. Because it's not only that...
Once you stop benefiting them...
But it's not only that he loves the city. He's an outstanding player. His numbers are ridiculous. He's one of the top 10 pitchers in the American League right now, if not top 5 starter in the American League, top 10 in the major league.
What's the real fall off age for baseball? I don't even know.
Pitchers,
I'm sure they go way later than basketball players, football players, all that.
33, 34. Some pitchers will move to the bullpen and pitch later.
I feel like that's young, no?
No.
I feel like I've seen players go to 40.
Your shoulder, when you've been pitching that hard from 18 on.
I guess you're playing 150 games.
Yeah, but starting pitchers only go every 5 days.
Yeah.
There's not many pitchers who are elite after the age of, 34.
Really?
But, so he's still got 5 great years left in him at least. And he's a guy who takes tremendous care of his body. He's ripped to hell. Works out more than anybody I know. The only guy who's come back from an ACL tear in 6 months and not reblown his knee. This guy's a beast. All right? So he's the one who could maybe pitch into, late 30s at an elite level still.
Wait, what'd you say about the ACL tear? That hasn't re-popped it?
Yeah.
So you're telling me if you tear an ACL, you're highly likely to re-injure it?
That's what you were saying the last episode,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And you disagreed with me
on this?
Yeah, no, I'd still disagree that you can't come back. But he is the clear example of it's not often. Derrick Rose came back 6 months, and he wasn't healthy enough. This is how much Marcus Stroman works on himself. That he was able to come back after 6 months, pitch in the playoffs with only one game in the regular season. It'd be a shame and a sad day if we see him go.
Well, hopefully we don't.
All right, let's move on. NBA draft tonight.
Yes, sir.
So,
in fact, we already know how the first three are going to be set up.
Yeah, so a couple days ago, the Knicks had scared me. But kind of, it was exciting too.
Why?
Because this guy, Garland, they had worked him out and they're considering him for the 3rd overall pick. So then Barrett would drop to 4. So I was kind of like, Barrett wants to go to the Knicks. But then I'm like, he would end up at Zion in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then I talked to his father, Rowan Barrett, at the parade. Took a great picture with him. Super nice guy. The general manager of Canada Basketball.
I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, well, I'm educated on these things.
I knew him as like RG Barrett's dad, but I didn't know why. Anyway, because I saw
why
like
he's
you
big?
guys, why you guys would go take a picture with him.
Steve, did you know that Steve Nash is RJ Barrett's godfather?
Steve Nash?
Steve
I
Nash.
have no idea.
Because Steve Nash is best friends with his father, Rowan Barrett.
I don't know all that.
Yeah.
All I know is he kind of.
That's why I'm here.
He looks like RG, and
that's why I'm here, bro. And I said, Rowan, your son made a big proclamation. He said at the Knicks work, he's not working for anybody else. He wants to go to the Knicks. You think it's gonna happen? He said, I believe my son's gonna be happy. Either way it happens.
Did you invite him to the podcast?
No, he's not coming on the podcast.
Fuck.
You know what? I started drilling him some questions, and you could tell he realized really quick, like, who is this kid? What is he trying to do? And then I'm like, yeah, I went to journalism school, and he started laughing. He's like, haha, now I get it. And I'm like, yeah, I just said best luck to your son. But I was trying to get the answer, like, yo, have you heard from the Knicks? Are they gonna take him? He said, listen, he goes, no matter what happens, 3 or 4, he's gonna be happy. Because either he's going to the Knicks or he's gonna be playing with Zion. But what's the big word on the 4th pick? Bradley Beal, maybe, eh?
I have no trust in that.
Well, apparently the Pelicans are looking at trading the 4th pick to Bradley Beal.
I don't see that.
I think that's a bad trade for Washington.
Huh?
I think it's a bad trade for Washington.
I don't. What is
would you do that deal if you're Washington?
Huh? If they're actually offering that, hell yeah.
See, the thing is,
why the fuck would you take Bradley Beal over? Okay, but depending on who the 4th pick is, because outside of if it's not RG, then who else?
If Barrett drops to 4, then I think Washington will say, yeah, let's do the deal. But then I think New Orleans is gonna say, no, we're not doing the deal, right? I think both parties want RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
And are they gonna say, okay, we'll take Garland or somebody else?
But I feel like a team like Washington's in like a rebuild stage.
They should be,
obviously.
But they're not.
They should be, and what's the way to get there? Trade away your fucking guy who's just putting up points.
If you're Washington, who would you rather keep, Beal or Wall? Because one of them has got to go. One of them has got to go.
Keep?
Yeah,
I'd keep Beal.
Okay, I agree as well. But now, don't you think all the other teams in the NBA are thinking the same thing? We'd rather have Bradley Beal and John Wall.
No.
Why would that? If you're saying Washington should rather keep Bradley Beal.
But I feel like that's because with Bradley Beal's chemistry with the team said that they were better without John Wall while he was injured.
Okay, so John Wall is owed about 20.
The relationship right there is cut. You don't say that while your star player is injured. Imagine they said about LeBron.
Yeah. So
he's cutting from that team.
John Wall, I'm fairly.
But John Wall I feel he's a winner, man. I feel like Bradley Beal to me is okay with putting up the most points on his team. Assists, whatever, but not winning the games. He doesn't really care to win the games. So John Wall, I feel, he's your guy. You know, he wants his name to be something in the NBA.
So John
Wall wants to get to a championship.
John Wall needs a new contract.
Yeah.
Right? In the last 2 years, he's played 32 games and 41 games. Been severely injured.
Yeah.
What are you paying a guy like that if you trade for him?
But you can also credit him not playing a lot of games because of that whole thing with the team.
So you think that
I'm sure he milked that
just said I'm
injury
not coming back?
Huh?
You think he just said I'm not coming
back?
No,
I feel like he just milked the injury because I remember when he even himself heard the team say that and he was like, "All right, like if you guys think you're better without me, play without me. I'll milk my injury."
All right. So what would you pay John Wall? He's not a max contract guy.
20, like I'd have
25.
Yeah, I'm not like I want to see him work out. I want to see how he play. I want to see if he still has it.
He averaged 20.7 last year.
Huh?
He averaged 20.7 points last year.
Yeah. If he is the John Wall that we've seen,
assists
8.7. He's a max contract player.
No.
Yes, he is, man.
No.
Name me another. Okay, ignore his injuries. He's missed a few games. The John Wall that we've seen. Name me a better guard.
Steph Curry,
Okay.
Damian Lillard, James Harden.
Guard. We're talking about point guard. Sorry.
James Harden plays point guard on Houston.
Yeah,
buddy.
but he's not a better point guard. James Harden just takes the ball up the court and takes the shot.
Yeah, but he also gets a lot of assists. You were arguing with me a couple shows
ago. Come on, playmaking,
Would
passing.
you take Russell Westbrook or John Wall?
John Wall.
Okay, just to make sure, because you're a Russell Westbrook
I'm a huge
fan.
Westbrook fan, but if I want to win, man, I'm not winning with Westbrook.
What? I'm taking Kyle Lowry over John Wall.
What? No, but
you're talking about winners. You're talking about winners.
Now,
this guy's got a chip.
I'm talking about John Wall. So
even that John Wall.
You take
he cannot control the game and set the tone for his team like Kyle Lowry can. And he's not as good in the locker room. He's not a team guy.
Are you in the locker room?
If your team says we are better without you and you're an all-star, there's something wrong there, fam.
They think you're milking, bro. Just like San Antonio did with Kawhi Leonard. They think if they think you're milking it, they're gonna be like,
you
fuck
started
him.
milking it after they said that.
I'm sure he did, but I'm sure they were thinking, yo, this guy's fucking milking this injury.
No, I think it was that they
Just
started
like
playing
San
a lot
Antonio
better
thought
because John
Kawhi
Wall's
Leonard
a ball
was
stopper.
Playing a lot better. The team went from freaking being a playoff picture to being one of the worst teams in the East.
No, they went on a crazy run here.
And where did they finish?
I can't.
9th? 10th? Maybe 11th?
I think 10th.
There you go.
Then he came back, though, didn't he?
Huh?
Then he came back and they into the basement.
Who came back?
Did John Wall, did he come back to the end of the season or did he sit out?
No.
I
said he just played the early games. Out for the rest of the season.
This guy named Kyrie Irving was also better.
Again, a lot of these things are questionable. If I'm talking about from a point guard standpoint, John Wall's quick, one of the best playmakers, and his passing's a lot better than some of these guys.
So where do you put anything? He's a top 5 point guard, top 10?
Top 5.
Oh my.
Point guard.
He's not top 5. I put him on 7.
Kyrie's not top 5 point guard.
Yeah.
Kyrie's not playmaking. He's not passing. He's taking the shot.
Okay, so you're talking traditional point. There's not many traditional point guards left other than maybe Kyle Lowry, Steph Curry, Mike Conley.
When Kyrie Irving was on fucking Cleveland Cavaliers and won a championship with him, he was playing more like a shooting guard than a point guard.
Well, that's because he had LeBron James.
Exactly. That's why he's not a top.
Yeah, but any point guard playing with LeBron James, listen, you're not playing point guard as much
because most of them are not like who. Look, who's the point guards that LeBron's played with?
No, because you don't need a point guard when you're with LeBron James.
Yeah, you don't. But if you had one, it's a great help.
Yeah, but he doesn't need one.
Because he could play point guard himself. Again, why I think he's the best
There's a gentleman who, a few years ago, was a top 5 point guard, was no question better than John Wall, was on pace to be a Hall of Famer, probably still would be a Hall of Famer, but, he's 33 years old, doesn't have a chip. Now, rumors have come out. My guy, Chris Paul.
Okay.
Not really my guy. I don't know why I said that, but Chris Paul. So, Vincent Goodwill, reporter for Fox Sports, reported that Chris Paul, after the season, his relationship with James Harden
unsalvageable.
There you go. And that he demanded a trade to Daryl Morey. Now, since then, I don't know if you saw the Bleacher Report post, and CP3 said,
that's why I was
confused. Commented, and he's like, oh, that's news to me, that I asked for a trade, and that it's unsalvageable. And then Stephen A. Smith reporting that he talked to Chris Paul, and he said, I never asked for a trade. Nick Wright claiming that reporting that he spoke to Daryl Morey, and he says CP3 did not ask for a trade. Now, do you believe Chris Paul and Daryl Morey, or do you think what I'm thinking, that CP3 did say, hey, if you can find a trade, I'd like to go, and that they realized there's no market for him, and now CP3 has realized, I'm stuck in Houston.
From when we were talking, it makes no sense for him to ask it for a trade.
Why not?
What position is he really going to be better? What team could he go to that he'll be set, except for, I said, if he went to Lakers, if he was playing with his boy LeBron. Besides that, it makes no sense to go.
I don't really think it's what team can I go to? I think it's when he left the Clippers.
Yeah.
There's multiple interviews where he said, I'm a little bit older now, not as quick. I can play off ball a little bit, pick my spots.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't play off ball a little bit on Houston. He's off the damn ball. You think a guy who's a Hall of Fame point guard enjoys watching every single play, every single offensive rush go through James Harden, and he touches the ball maybe twice a possession?
But is it going to be any better if it goes through him?
No, I'm not saying that Houston be better going through. I'm saying that that guy is probably thinking, I want to start playing basketball again the way I think I can.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way that he thinks he can never really got him anywhere. The
furthest he went was Western Conference Finals.
With who?
Clippers.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
They went to the Western Conference Finals.
You're high on something. The only time Chris Paul was ever in a Western Conference Final was with Houston. Facts.
You can keep talking. I'll check that out.
I'll tell you that right now. Because I know the first time they went, I think they played Memphis or some shit. Eliminated. And I'm pretty sure they played Portland too another year. I'm telling you, they always get eliminated in the first round. And he played 1 year without Blake Griffin or Jordan, I swear.
Yeah, they're pretty much both injured one season.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? People are talking about the Lakers going after Chris Paul. I just want people to understand that there's no possible way that can happen. The Lakers have $23 million in cap space right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to restructure the AD deal to get the $32 million.
But that's what I'm saying.
And Chris Paul is owed $38 million.
That demand for a trade, that's the only sense that it would make. If for some reason, if some way he found out a way to get to the Lakers. Because where's he gonna go? Fucking Minnesota?
Well, apparently the Knicks turned down the trade offer.
Who? The Knicks?
Yeah.
But even if he
went
to the Knicks,
you're right. Only 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think he maybe asked for a trade, and then they realized there's nowhere for him to go, and nobody wants him because nobody's going to pay.
And if he does go anywhere, he's not getting any further than he was now.
The problem is, if he was making proper money, not crazy money, he might have a chance. But he's owed $38 million the coming season, $41 million the following season, and then in 21-22 has a player option at 37 years old for $44 million.
Bro,
at 37 years old, why would he not take that player option? So that's hefty. Nobody can afford that.
Yeah.
And if the Lakers somehow clear enough cap space, you move Kyle Kuzma as well. Well, then they will have zero cap space to add anybody else. But the problem for the Houston Rockets,
that's not the move. You don't move Kuzma. That's not.
Yeah. No, I agree.
For Chris Paul, like if you do, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it successfully with LeBron, but
for the Houston Rockets,
not with anyone else.
Guess how much salary cap space they have heading in this offseason?
Who?
Houston Rockets. Take a guess.
Probably nothing.
Literally $0.
There you go.
They're already into the luxury tax. Their free agents are Iman Shumpert. They'll let him walk.
Yeah.
Gerald Green, Austin Rivers. I think they want to bring back Austin Rivers. He's a good use off the bench as a guard. Yeah. Gerald Green potentially, and Kenneth Faried. So you probably want to bring back Kenneth Faried as well. So
I heard that I'm sure they're trying to trade Capella, right?
Yeah, but
that's the only trading piece then. Like, who else can you trade?
All right, so Clint Capella it's not like he had a $25 million contract. You're going to clear that much. $16 million. Even if you clear $16 million, you'll have about another $4 million in luxury tax space.
Yeah.
So $20 million, you can't bring in a max or even anywhere close to it. No. Apparently they want to make a push for Jimmy Butler. How?
They want to make a push for Jimmy. Oh my God.
That's reports yesterday.
Why is everyone pushing for Jimmy Butler? Is he what are his thoughts? Is he trying to leave Philly? For sure.
Well, he says no matter where I go, I'm getting a max contract. I don't think he's a max contract player.
I don't think so either.
He's not. He's not a winner.
The fourth quarter, maybe he's a max contract player, but that's it.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. But as I say, a bucket in the first quarter is as much as a bucket in the fourth quarter. So if you don't show up for 3 quarters, and then you just go and you score 12 points, but we're down to 20, because you did nothing the first 3 quarters, and you're passive.
That's true.
Then what's the use? You know what trade I see happening, though? What I think is the one option, Houston, and it would work well. Chris Paul for Ben Simmons.
I don't think Philly's trying to give up Ben Simmons.
Well, I think Philly has to give up Ben Simmons unless this guy comes into next season learning how to shoot.
He's young, man. You can literally work on his game.
Yeah, but he's 2 years into his career, and now we're going to the 4th year, and it's had 0 improvement.
But 3 years into his career, the first year he was injured for most of the season.
Yeah, but he's practicing.
Yeah, but...
Okay, fine. 2 full seasons, 1 full year of practice, but you didn't play. And he refuses to even take shots.
If they got through Toronto, they would have been going to the finals.
Yeah, but they couldn't because...
Kawhi Leonard, man.
No, but they also what was Ben Simmons doing? He averaged like 13 points.
Huh? Fuck, man. Who's guarding him?
The problem for me with the way Philly's structured, you have Joel Embiid, who obviously plays primarily on the inside, and then will step out to shoot some threes. Ben Simmons, what is his name of his game? Inside. That paint is clogged up. You already got a guy on Embiid on the inside. Now Ben Simmons starts driving. There's 2. Now the double team's coming. Now there's 3 defenders in the paint. Right? The paint is too clogged for Ben Simmons to do what he needs to be doing.
But the thing is, having that big of a presence on the inside clears up space for freaking what's his name?
For JJ Redick and that other white guy.
No, but
Ben Simmons, if he could shoot, They would be lethal.
Fucking banging threes, and I'm like,
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, Tobias Harris, bro. You know what I mean? It opens a lot of things up in the 3v. Just having those two guys inside. I understand it brings in a lot of defending crowds the whole lane, so you can't really score.
Philly can't re-sign Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler.
Well, yeah. They probably won't, but
you can't.
All they need is some decent shooters on the outside. That lane's going to be clogged, but the threes are going to be open.
Ben Simmons' assist numbers were down as well. I just think that's a viable option for both parties. I think for Houston, it gives them a different look. But James Harden's going to be that guy on the outside.
Philly's been on like a rebuild. They're trying to build this championship team.
Yeah, but now they think they're a contender.
Chris Paul.
They think they're there, that they're a contender.
Chris Paul ain't going to push them over that line, man. Are you kidding me? He's shown. He's played on teams.
This last year, he was really injured, right?
Yeah.
But the previous year,
yeah,
everybody said Houston was going to beat Golden State until Chris Paul went out.
Exactly, but that's what
so he was that
he keeps going out, man.
No,
every
so
year
for
you
sure,
go out.
that's also why he's untradeable.
Exactly.
Right?
Every year you go out.
Similar to John Wall, the problem.
And you're only getting older, meaning you're only just going to get worse.
The main issue is his contract. And one thing I want to get to, before we wrap up this Houston talk, is a major flaw with the NBA that restricts... They have the most player movement of any of the professional leagues. But in both hockey and baseball, if you want to trade a guy, you can retain salary. Baseball, they have no limit of how much you can retain. Hockey does 50%. So if Chris Paul is playing hockey in his $40 million contract, Houston, they can't include about 40. They can say, okay, we'll retain $15 million. Well, now somebody might say, all right, I can play Chris Paul $25 million.
Yeah.
And then it's more, now that can happen. Works for both sides. I think that's a change the NBA should look at. And then everybody loves the player movement, right? That would create even more.
Yeah, but maybe there's a little too much
player movement. You got nothing to say on that,
NBA.
Eh? Huh?
So maybe there's a little bit too much player movement in the NBA today.
Well, it's a players-dominated league.
Yeah.
Right?
But because you don't see a lot of loyal players. That's why I love Westbrook. And as much as you hate on the guy will not leave OKC unless they trade him.
Yeah, congrats.
But fuck. Loyalty
He's never going to win. No, I think loyalty
You're all, that's
why I still think Masai Ujiri did DeRozan dirty, because the only guy who's ever been loyal to Toronto. Now, did the trade work out? Yeah, obviously it did. But you still did the man dirty.
The best trade Toronto has ever made.
For sure.
Facts.
For sure.
So?
But no, I'm not arguing doing the trade. I'm arguing the way it was done, where 2 days before he said, I'm not trading you, according to DeMar, and then calls him. He's in Africa. I forget which country. He was actually opening up a school with Barack Obama, apparently, when he did the trade. And then he was sitting on a sidewalk. From Africa, calls DeMar DeRozan and says, yeah, even though I told you 2 days I'm not trading you, you just been dealt to San Antonio.
When was he offered the San Antonio trade 2 days ago?
There was. That's why DeMar DeRozan had asked him, because there's been reports for 2 weeks prior the Raptors and Spurs were talking, and DeMar DeRozan was involved. So that's why he asked Masai, and Masai said, no. And then Masai, in that meeting, apparently was telling him stuff he wants him to work on for next season. And then 2 days later...
But did they ever get an answer for that? Did they ever ask Masai, why'd you lie?
Masai, in that press conference, Masai didn't really answer it. He said stuff was lost in translation, is what he said. It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Okay, well, fuck. I don't know. But
I'm saying loyalty is worth something. But in management, sports is a business. To those management, loyalty means nothing to them. So why should players be loyal? Like, I hate what Kevin Durant did. But honestly, LeBron James is right when he says management can go and trade a guy like Isaiah Thomas, who plays when his sister dies. They can go and trade a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who dies for the Toronto. But then if a guy like KD or Kyrie leaves Boston, then it's like, oh, this guy did the team dirty or did this. You can't just be one way. Management can't just go and change guys' lives whenever they feel like it and make them uproot their whole lives and their family. But if a player does it, oh, no, they're disrespectful to the organization. It's piss posh. Bullshit. So I got to say on that.
Well, you got me there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, a little bit shorter show today. So let's wrap up with, one thing that got me hyped last night.
Let's hear what.
NHL,
I swear, oh my god. I was about to say, I swear to god, if you bring up fucking golf, I will fucking turn off.
No, that tournament was underwhelming.
Every tournament's underwhelming, bro.
No, give me Woodland. Congrats. I just like to see a big name guy. But Austin Matthews is the cover athlete of NHL 20. Shouts to Toronto, the 6. And Austin, I think he deserves it. And it's cool.
Is there a curse?
No.
With the NHL
no, that's
covers?
Madden, bro. That's Madden.
Okay, I'm just making sure there's no curse with hockey, because I was gonna say maybe it might be a bad thing.
And I don't think there's ever been a Leafs player on the cover of the game, so it's kind of big, right? And last year's PK Subban, guy from the Ends too.
There's never been one, really.
No, I've never been a Leaf in my lifetime. And I've had every game since NHL 04.
Well, There you go. You have it now.
Jonathan
Now you can
Taves
buy
has
it.
been on the cover like 3 friggin' times, but I think it's 2. And then
Who cares?
I just want to talk on the Philadelphia Flyers. That organization, I feel bad for them and their fans. My buddy Braden Trout, I don't know if you're watching, good buddy from school. Just hop off their wagon, man. Burn your jerseys. Clean house with management, and then you go and trade for Kevin Hayes, who's a free agent. You give him $7 million a year for a guy who showed you as number one option in the Rangers. Yeah, he can put up 30 goals. Goes to a good team with Winnipeg, falls off the face of the earth, and was almost unplayable in the playoffs. You give him $7 million a year. Then you go and trade for Matt Niskanen. This guy's mid-30s, and he's paid $5.75 million for the next 2 years. I know you're tired of losing, but you have to build a team the right way. You can't just go and try and cut shortcuts. Look what the Leafs did with Brian Burke. Let's go trade for Phil Kessel. Trade 2 first-round picks. Let's go get James Van Riemsdyk. Let's jump the line and try and make things happen. It never works in hockey. Basketball, yeah. Just go and trade and sign for a guy because they can play 40 minutes a night. Hockey, Kevin Hayes is going to play 18 minutes. Matt Niskanen, if you want to run him out to 25 minutes, your team is going to suck. I'm sorry. He was not even that big of a part of the Washington Blue Line last year when they won. So, Philadelphia, you're in the garbage can right now, man.
Up.
I feel bad for you. You're going to have a couple more years of pain, and you're going to end up finding another general manager within 2 years. I'm calling it.
Where do you see them next year?
I
Bottom of the barrel?
I don't think they're making the playoffs. I think they could. Goaltending is their main issue, as it has been over the last 15 years. Carter Hart is a rookie who came in last year, played decent. I don't like his game. His save percentage still wasn't that very good. And I think you end up in the 10th spot again, around there. You have some good forwards, but you have no insulation, no depth to the team. So kind of stupid moves. Then we're going to end off with that guy hung up right there, Mitch Marner. You're pissing me off, buddy. Stressing me out. Remember when we talked about this? Kyle Dubas had said it's imperative to get his contract signed by July 1st when free agency opens. Because if you don't have him signed, you don't know how much cap you have to make your other moves. You're handcuffed. You can't do anything. We are now 10 days from that deadline.
And
by June 25th, if he is not signed yet, Kyle Dubas, you better start picking up that phone and looking at different trade options. You got 2 options. Well, 3. You can either sign him and give him $11 million and then end this Leafs run, because it'll be over if you give him $11 million. I'm calling it. And they're going to be worse off next year than they were this past year. I hope they prove me wrong, but you can't win with 3 guys at $11 million. So what you need to do is pick up the phone and see, can I get a top 4 defenseman, top 3 defenseman, maybe a second or third line winger or centerman if you want to trade Kadri too. And then you start calling people around saying, hey, if I end up with 4 first-round picks, if this guy gets offer sheeted, hey, Carolina, for either Dougie Hamilton or Justin Folk, will 1 first-round pick get me him? Will 2 first-round picks get me him? Okay, depending on what team gives you the picks. But if he gets offer sheeted, the only teams with $11 million in cap space are going to be garbage teams. So they're going to be very good first-round picks. Then if you work out, you feel like you can get a top D-man for 2 first-round picks. You got 2 first-round picks left. Then you go and see, hey, can I get a good forward, top 6 forward? Dubas has got to start picking up the phone if this contract is not signed by June 25th. Because if this goes past July 1st, it's an utter failure, and I don't know where the blame will fall, whether it's Mitch Marner or Kyle Dubas. But I'm telling you, if he's not signed by July 1, I'm looking at trades.
We'll call him Doofus.
He might be a doofus. He let William Nylander go until Christmas, and then the guy sucked all season, and we could have the same thing on our hands again. And I'm not being overly, irrational or anything. It's a problem.
Sounds like you are.
No, man. It's a problem. And people are saying, oh, this guy did this guy did that. It's not whether he deserves $11 million. It's can you win in the NHL a Stanley Cup if you have 3 guys making $11 million? No, you cannot. I've been through this before. Look at the teams in the Stanley Cup final. Both of them, highest paid guys in the $7 million. They had deep teams. They spread out the wealth. Look at Pittsburgh when they won. Evgeny Malkin was the highest, and he's around 9. Look at Washington. Ovechkin was the same, and he was under 10. Chicago, when they went on their tear, Kane and Taves were making $6 million. They signed for $10.5, dual contracts. Since then, they've struggled to make the playoffs. The final 4 teams this year.
So money's a problem, eh?
Yeah, the final 4 teams. Brent Burns was the highest paid guy at $8 million. Everybody had deep teams. And you think you can win with 3 guys making $11 million? If Mitch Marner signs, there goes Andreas Janssen, there goes Kasperi Kapanen. That's 2 top 6 forwards. You can't just replace 2 top 6 forwards off a damn tree. And Nikita Zaitsev wants to get dealt. Trade him and then go sign Anton Strawman. Give Anton Strawman $5 million. He's a former Leaf. Didn't go well here because that was the rebuilding stages, Brian Burke era. You probably like the city because everybody likes your city.
Yep.
You can have him to replace Zaitsev. But I'm telling you, Mitch Marner's got to sign for 9.5 or let him walk. Get this guy out of here. I love him. I think he's a great player. I wouldn't have paid what I did for an autographed Marner jersey at an auction if I didn't like the player.
How much you pay?
Don't worry about it. All right?
Pay way too much.
It was less than 400. I'll say that much. All right?
That's way more than I thought you were going to say.
Well, I'm not going to say
So
the
it's
exact
like
number.
close to 300? Or over 300?
Closer to 4 than 3.
That's bad.
I had no question about it
That's
at
fine.
that
We'll
moment,
burn it.
and I still do. I'm happy I bought it. But it doesn't matter again whether he deserves it or not. You cannot win at that money. And yes, you're a hometown guy. Please take a hometown discount. Do you want to win? Look at Sidney Crosby. You guys never made more than 8.7 in his life because he wants to win. That's the difference between teams that win and lose. Simple as fact. And NHL salary cap was expected to go to $85 million this coming season. No. Now it's going to be 81.5 to 82. So there goes an extra $3 million the Leafs thought they had. And you want to give another guy. You can't have 3 guys making $11 million. That's what I'm going to end the show with. Anything else you want to tee off on, discuss?
Yeah. On a brighter note, Kawhi Leonard enrolled his daughter.
No, he didn't.
I know, bro. I got so hyped when I saw that.
Let's just break it down for the
He was
people.
on a
quick.
family vacation in fucking Niagara Falls. That's what everyone, every immigrant has gone through the same fucking vacation. For some reason, Kawhi.
Did you watch
decided to do it too.
How Hungry Are You, Serge Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah.
And he said, I want to go visit Niagara Falls. And here's the thing.
Okay, but Okay, go.
No.
And I'll give you my spiel.
I believe he probably took his daughter to a school to check it out. To say, if we re-sign in Toronto, let's see what schools she's going to go to.
Do you think he doesn't have his decision yet?
No, why would he be looking at schools if he didn't know he was going to stay here?
Exactly. So I'm thinking he already decided to stay here.
No.
Yeah,
you
man,
got to be prepared. You're in Niagara. You probably heard it's a great school, probably a private school. And the only reason everybody thinks his daughter's enrolled is because some doofus who sent a text to his doofus buddy and said, Kawhi just enrolled his daughter at my kid's school. First of all, unless you talk to the principal or vice principal, how would you possibly know that?
I know, yeah. I don't know how you would know.
And what stops a guy from just texting that to his buddy and saying, let's screenshot it and send it to 6Buzz?
Yeah.
6Buzz is not news. They posted a video the other day. That was a guy crashing in Brampton. That was not Brampton.
It was LA. But yo,
Relax, 6Buzz.
How many times you been to Niagara Falls?
Oh, man. Over 5. Probably like 6, 7.
Yeah, you've gone on the vacations. How many times you been to a school in Niagara?
Why would I ever go to school in Niagara Falls?
While you're in Niagara Falls? Never. Exactly is what I'm saying, bro. I've gone to Niagara
but
Falls bare times. I've
I
never
live here.
even seen a school. So
That's because you're just going to the falls, fam.
No, but
you're not going to the city.
Seeing
You're
fucking
going to the
Kawhi Leonard
falls.
walking through a school, I'm like, first off, 2 things. This guy knows he's gonna get mobbed by all these kids. They're like, holy shit, this
He
is
did
Kawhi
in Niagara
Leonard.
Falls, which is disgraceful. People allow the man on his family vacation. Why are you 50 people following him, mobbing him? Relax, bro.
It's true. Fangirling over him. Second, why the fuck are you going to a school if you're on a vacation in Niagara Falls?
Because he wants to see where his kid's going. It's not a vacation, it's a day trip.
Because he's coming back, bro.
Oh my.
He's coming back,
Dude,
guys.
it is 50-50 between Toronto and LA Clippers.
Huh?
It's 50-50.
It's
Toronto, LA
50-50
Clippers.
My dick, bro.
What do you mean my
the
dick?
fuck are you gonna do in fucking Clippers? Please tell me. What are you gonna do? He's gonna be number 1.
As I've said.
He's gonna be He's gonna be a championship player in the freaking Clippers.
Listen.
Nope.
They got 2 max slots. They need to get another max guy.
They're even trying to trade Patrick Beverley now. Who's gonna be their point guard?
What the fuck is Patrick Beverley?
He's one best defending point guard in the league.
Defending. I would keep You got Lou Williams. I would keep Beverley
and what does
have Lou
Kawhi
Williams
Leonard
off
love?
the bench.
What does Kawhi Leonard love?
Defense.
A fucking defensive team. If you're getting rid of your best defender,
no.
Fuck are you doing?
They already got 2 max slots. You got Lou Williams. You got a very good local kid you probably never heard of, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who should have been in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Averaged, I believe, 13, 14 points last season. Got tremendously better as the season went on. All right? He's got building blocks there. And with that much cap space, they can build a team around him.
And
then you get to go home.
Not a championship team, fam.
A contender. Not next year, probably. But hold on.
You know what you get when you're in Toronto?
Do you think
Finals.
Do you think the Lakers are a championship contender? Just answer the question. AD and LeBron.
I think any team with LeBron James is a championship contender, regardless.
No, but did you think they were last year?
Huh?
Did you think they were last year?
Yeah, because I always thought if they get to playoffs and whenever they run into Golden State, it's gonna be a problem.
Everybody
LeBron's
agrees.
always gonna be a problem.
Everybody
for
agrees.
Golden
Kawhi Leonard, top 3 player. He's in the he's battling LeBron for the GOAT, right?
I say top 2 player, not top 3.
Top 2. All right, maybe past KD. So it's LeBron and Kawhi number 1
Yep.
and 2. So why him with another max player? Depending if it's KD's out, if it's Kyrie, if it's I don't know who else is free. Klay Thompson. If it Jimmy Butler, I don't think so. Jimmy Butler, I think would go there in a heartbeat to either the Lakers or the Clippers. Why would they not be a force? KD's gone. If he leaves Golden State, Klay Thompson's out all year. You're telling me with 2 really good players, a number 2 player in the league and another top 20 player, that they wouldn't be competitive and make a push? Houston's fault. Tell me who's the favorites in the West right now?
Lakers.
Golden State, we have no idea what's going on. Houston is done.
Lakers.
So it's just Lakers.
Yeah.
You tell me Kawhi and one other guy can't fight with the Lakers?
I don't know.
I wouldn't pick them to win,
bro.
but they can fight.
And they got Anthony
They'll
Davis
fight,
now, bro. Anthony fucking
and they gotta build the rest of the roster too, right? You're telling me if Kawhi and Klay Thompson or anybody else,
they'll meet each other in the finals, Jay, next year. I'm telling you this right now. They'll meet each other in the finals because Kawhi's staying in Toronto, and Lakers are probably gonna make it to the finals.
But
you want the answers? There you fucking go, bro. Mystic fucking at us, bro. What?
What if Kawhi Leonard, they brought in Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris back to Clippers?
Well, fucking what if
they're going to the Western Conference Finals?
Back fucking Yao Ming. I don't know, man.
No,
I don't know.
Exactly.
They're not going to. Yeah, it's going to. Depending on.
And then you never know what happens.
Depending on where they sit.
AD has been bodied the last 2 years.
Look what happened to Houston. Everyone thought Houston was probably going to go to the conference finals, but they got set up in a situation where they have to play Golden State. Exactly. And the same shit can happen in Clippers where they have to play fucking Lakers in the second round and they'll get eliminated.
You never know what happens in sports. But the Clippers, if Kawhi goes there, I'm telling you, other people are going to go there. Who would not want to play with Kawhi Leonard, though?
Huh?
He can go and make a team. Someone who wants to be
a number 1 option on the team.
Yeah. Not
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, man, you know.
He's learned he's not a number 1 option.
No, he thinks he's a max contract player. He thinks he's a number 1 option. He thinks he's one of the best players in the league. Fuck him.
Okay.
Fuck, this podcast is done.
Kyrie Irving realized, though, that he's not a number 1 player.
Who?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, because he got a harsh reality of playing by himself.
Okay, so
when has Jimmy Butler had to play by himself yet? He played on Philadelphia, which had 5
Chicago
other All-Stars.
with an old D Wade.
Yeah, and he ran shit there, and he's like, you know what? If I make it to a legit team, I can win a championship.
No, he didn't run shit. They fell apart. They were up 2-0.
Yeah, but he was the best.
I forget what they're playing. They're up 2-0. Rondo went out. Rajon Rondo went out, and they lost 4 straight from there.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's the best player on that team.
Kyrie and Kawhi Leonard, that's a force to be reckoned with. There's options.
Kyrie Irving?
Yeah. How are you saying no?
Because you gotta have that relationship. LeBron and Kyrie have that relationship.
Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker.
You know who has a relationship? Kyle Lowry and fucking Kawhi Leonard.
Dude, I'm not saying he's leaving. I'm saying there's reasons why he would severely consider going to the Clippers.
But it would never make sense over Raptors.
Oh my. Nobody knows him. You don't know how much he values being at home. Raising his kids in LA.
But I'm saying look
at LeBron James. He valued LeBron James did not make a basketball decision when he went to the Lakers, did he? Mm-hmm. LeBron did not make a real basketball decision.
Yeah, but everyone knew he wasn't making a basketball decision.
So what if Kawhi Leonard goes the same route? And he says, I want to be in
Kawhi
LA.
Leonard's not
be a
fucking
bigger brand.
36 years old, man. He's 29.
And he said he got 2 chips.
Exactly, and he's 29. He knows if I get 2 more chips, I'm better than LeBron.
Okay, not.
Yes.
No.
Legacy-wise, he's better.
No.
Yes, he is.
He's not a better player than LeBron, though.
Huh?
He hasn't been for as long as LeBron. LeBron has been the best player in the league the last 10 years.
Yeah, but LeBron, it's about the chips, man. That's all that counts. When you're looking at these old guys, I'm not... let's say, I don't even know who... Let's talk about Kobe. Let's talk about all these other guys. You don't talk about, who's better this season? Who's better this season? Who's better... How many chips do they have each? That's why you always see them fucking counting when they're on the bench.
So then LeBron shouldn't even be in the conversation better than Michael Jordan by your estimation. LeBron shouldn't be in the conversation. I think he's better than Michael Jordan, but you're saying LeBron shouldn't be in the conversation. I feel like
LeBron still has time to get those chips.
Yeah, I think he'll get one in LA.
I think he'll get more than one.
More than one?
Mm-hmm.
Whew, tough toll.
Huh? Unless they play Raptors.
But I'm just saying.
No chance.
Hope and Kawhi stays, but there's more reasons than you want to admit to yourself. Again, you're diehard Raps fans. There's more reasons than you're willing to admit to yourself for why he would consider heavily going to the Clippers.
Because he wants.
I give it 50-50 right now, man. 50-50.
This is my thing. So, everyone's always like, where he... Of course, none of us know what he feels and where he actually wants to live. No, none of us know that. So that's already eliminated out of the question. None of us can even speak on that because most likely we're going to be wrong. The only thing we can look at is where he has a better chance to win then. Or even go to the finals. And that's always the winning side's going to be Toronto.
All right, let me ask you.
He runs the East as long as he's there.
Let me ask you one question before we end off the show because we're tight on time. You got to get to work. Kawhi stays in Toronto. Marcus Gasol is going to take his player option. Yeah. We're going to have pretty much the exact same roster next season.
Even Danny Green, he watched the Breakfast Club. He said, it all depends on where, because they're asking him, are you going to come back to Toronto? It all depends on what the other guys. And the Charlemagne just straight up, he's like, okay, are you going to go where Kawhi goes?
Charlemagne, what are you talking about?
On Breakfast Club. Oh, you didn't watch this?
Oh, he was on that Breakfast Club. Yeah. No, I don't watch that.
And fucking Charlemagne's like, to be honest, you're going where Kawhi's going? And he's like, well, I'd love to, but like he was it the phone interview or he was in New York City? No, he was in New York City.
I think that was this morning?
No, this was yesterday morning.
I was going to say, because he's at Sport Check at Square One today. Mississauga.
Yeah. I don't even know why this guy's traveling back and forth.
No, he's from New York.
Problem.
He's from New York. That's why he went.
I know, but he's just traveling back and forth.
All right.
Toronto,
so answer my one last question.
What?
Right? We're going to have the same roster next year. Mm-hmm. If Kawhi comes back, Danny Green, I don't even care whether Danny Green comes back. They obviously I'd want him back, but it's not crucial.
Yeah.
Go to the finals.
100%.
You're facing the... Well, unless Milwaukee gets another couple pieces. Philly doesn't scare me. Happening, right? Chris Middleton apparently wants a max contract.
Yeah, so that's not happening. You know Milwaukee's not getting anyone. And they're probably going to give Chris Middleton the max.
Well, what are you going to do if he leaves then?
Exactly.
Right? So you go and you play the Lakers in the finals. LeBron James, Anthony Davis. We don't know who else they're going to get. They're going to get a couple shooters. I think J.J. Redick will probably go there. Maybe even Danny Green. That's a dogfight. That's not a given chip, my friend. That's you going against the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're there to compete for the chip. And that's what I feel like every player wants. They want to be competing for the chip.
Do you pick the Raptors against the Lakers next year in the finals?
Huh?
Do you take the Raptors against the Lakers?
I take Raptors all the time, bro.
I know you do, but
bro, we did this last time and you were wrong. And you were wrong. yes, I take Raptors over fucking anyone.
I think it'd be a dogfight.
Bring me Jordan. Bring him back. Raptors beat him, bro. Bring back the 96 Bulls. Bring back the Showtime Lakers. Raptors beat them.
All right, Addis has fallen off his rocker. He took some local crazy juice before he got here.
Bro, we did this last time, and I was like, if you watch that clip where he's like, you think Golden State's losing to Raptors? And
first of all, that is a terrible impersonation of me. Terrible.
Again, this is what you said, and I said yes. Yes,
I said KD,
Raptors are winning a championship this year. Huh? It doesn't
just to be clear.
Fucking
matter. It doesn't matter.
They ruined KD's career.
It doesn't matter to me, but I'm just saying that question I was asking you, can they beat KD? And we'll never know the answer to that.
The fans beat KD. The fans broke his ACL, man. Or not, sorry.
They broke his heart. They broke his heart. So, we'll end off on that note. All right.
Now I want to talk about it. Let's hear. Who's going to beat the Raptors?
No, I think the Lakers are pretty much the only team that I would pick.
You were telling me.
No, not to beat. I'm not saying they're going to beat them. I'm saying that's the closest
was
fight.
A bad trade.
What?
Remember we drove by, we stopped.
Oh no, I said they paid too much.
They paid too much.
Paid too much.
Wild, bro.
You know why? No, not that. Like, okay, here's the thing.
Davis.
If Boston was in the negotiations, Knicks and all that, and they had stuff to offer, then okay, you have to outbid them.
Yeah.
But the Knicks
was the fact.
But the Knicks could not come close to the Lakers' offer.
Yeah.
And maybe in the picks, but they did not have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, no players to offer. They just say, hey, do you want 6 first-round picks? Like, right? Boston, they said, we're not trading for AD because we're not trading Tatum. Kyrie Irving's leaving. So to get AD, they would have to trade Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, plus 2 first-round picks.
I heard that was the thing. They didn't want to include Tatum.
And why would they do that? Because then it's just Anthony Davis with Al Horford. And now Al Horford is leaving too. Oh, my God. We have to talk about how Boston effed themselves up. But, right? So Lakers were bidding against themselves. Nobody could come close to that deal, and you still gave up 2 of your young assets, plus Josh Hart, I forgot about, who's a good player.
Josh Hart, okay.
Brandon Ingram's
Ingram might not even play anymore with his fucking
No, he's cleared to play, but it's just, you don't know if he's going to come back.
Could always come back. There you go. Lonzo Ball's played 3 seasons.
Lonzo Ball is...
Exactly.
But they say Ingram's is a lot better situation than Chris Bosh. It's nowhere near that. But to give up the 3 first-round picks... You see what's happening to Golden State. They have no young guys who can step in off the bench or fill roles or anything,
Here's the thing. We've seen
That's my problem with that
LeBron
deal.
James. All you need is bodies around him.
You do, but LeBron is not around for 20 years.
No fucking idea.
If this is Miami Heat when they had LeBron James making this deal, yeah, because you're gonna have him for 5 years. He's in the middle of his
he took the
age.
worst finals teams to the finals.
LeBron's only got two more years guaranteed in Lakers and a player option, and you traded 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, but you also got Anthony Davis out of him, who could be the next best player.
No, dude, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm just pissed off. I'm not pissed off. I just think they overpaid when they were bidding against themselves. David Griffin held that idiot general manager in LA for ransom. For ransom.
Well, yeah, but that was the whole thing. They didn't want to give it to Lakers just because.
So then you say, okay, Anthony Davis is going to sit out all of your next year and not play for you.
Yeah, but that doesn't get you anywhere.
And now look at the Lakers now. They're scrambling to try and restructure the deal to clear more cap space. Shouldn't you have done that in the first place in the deal?
Yeah, but even if they don't pick up another piece, that team's still going to the finals.
Unless Klay Thompson comes back like 100%, yeah.
Even Steph Curry, Klay Thompson ain't taking down.
No, because Golden State, when KD leaves, they can't add a max player, but they can add a decent third option.
I'm sure, yeah, there's probably a lot of players that want to go there too.
Exactly. If DeMarcus Cousins comes back the way he knows, you're saying, oh, John Wall in his prime when he was playing good. Why can't we say DeMarcus Cousins?
Because even when he was in his prime, he couldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, John Wall in the playoffs, what did he do? He swept the Raptors one time.
Exactly. The worst. Come on, man. They swept the Raptors. There you fucking
Congrats.
They were like number 2 that year, too.
That year, weren't we 3rd? They were 6?
Maybe.
Because that was the year after
ranked higher and we got swept.
We weren't finishing first place that year. That was the year after. But, yeah, let's end it there. This NBA offseason is gonna be crazy to me. NHL offseason, you got a lot of top NHL free agents too. Tony Panarin, Matt Duchene. Where those guys gonna go? I hope the Blue Jays don't trade Marcus Stroman. The parade was a great time. Stop bashing it. I haven't checked anything what the states are saying because I don't want. They always rip us.
They're ripping us. What do you mean?
I haven't looked at one thing Americans have said about the parade.
If that happened in the States, it'd be 20 dead and fucking 200 injured.
Yeah, because it would be a semi-automatic gun. It wouldn't have been a handgun.
Injured.
4 people injured.
Okay, 4 people injured. No deaths.
Yeah.
It's bad, but we
everybody's okay. God bless them. Prayers to them. I'm happy everybody's good, and it was still a great day. Just look at all those pictures flying around and all the smiles on the kids' faces, on our faces. I felt like I was 5 years old.
Ask the fucking players, man. They're all saying they couldn't believe how many people showed up and how crazy.
Look at all their Instagram posts, their interviews after. Having the time of their lives.
No one fucking went to work that day, bro.
So show me another city where 2 million people will show up for a parade.
Never.
It won't happen.
Never.
Maybe if the Lakers win, just because there's so many people in LA.
Yeah.
And the Lakers.
Like 2 million in fucking neighborhood.
Yeah. All right. Signing off in the mix. That's Kucukovic. I'm Jay Boyal. Thanks for watching, guys.